Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We cut through the noise, get straight to the point. Today, we're plunging into something pretty critical for global development. It's this synergy, right, between microfinance and social protection, how they work together against poverty.
Yeah, and our mission for you listening is to pull out the really key insights from this big report. It's called The Interplay of Microfinance and Social Protection, Enhancing Resilience and Poverty Alleviation. Quite a mouthful, but important stuff. So just quickly, to make sure we're on the same page, microfinance, that's things like small loans, savings, maybe insurance for low-income folks, aiming for self-sufficiency.
Right, helping them build their own way forward.
And then social protection is, well, broader. Think safety nets, assistance, insurance, maybe work programs, all about managing shocks, those bumps in the road.
Exactly. And what this report really digs into, and this is key, is that growing link between the two. It really focuses on how combining them helps reach the ultra poor, those who often struggle to even get started with traditional microfinance. That combination seems to be the real power play here.
It is. And it gets interesting because the report actually shows microfinance itself acting as social protection in a way.
How so?
Well, think about it. If a household faces a sudden shock, like illness or a bad harvest, microfinance tools, maybe a savings account they can access or microinsurance payout, that's an immediate buffer.
Okay, right, like a personal safety net.
Precisely. And beyond just coping, microloans let families invest, maybe buy a tool, some livestock, diversify how they earn money. That builds a stronger shield for the next time something happens. It's empowerment.
That makes sense. Let's make this concrete. There was a case study in the report, wasn't there? From Sudan. Yes, the Al-Fal microfinance program.
Yeah.
Really compelling stuff. During a major crisis there, things were falling apart, traditional systems failing. Al-Fal didn't just, stick to the script. They got creative. Things like in-kind financing, letting people repay with goods maybe, and super flexible terms, adapting constantly.
They adjusted things on the fly.
And the impact. It wasn't just like keeping people afloat. It seriously helps with food security, kept livelihoods going when other supports just weren't there.
That Sudan example, it really hammers home how vital that strategic thinking and flexibility are, especially when things are volatile. It shows how being adaptable can turn, well, a potential disaster into something manageable, keeps families resilient.
Okay, so microfinance can be social protection. But what about bigger picture integration? How are these systems being formally linked up? The report mentioned other models.
It did, yes. Several interesting ones. There's something called adaptive social protection.
Adaptive?
Yeah, it's designed to sort of automatically scale up or shift focus when a big shock hits like a flood or an economic crash, like a pre-planned community emergency response.
Okay.
Then you've got Cash Pluses programs. This is popular. It's not just handing out cash transfers, but combining that money with more, maybe financial literacy or skills training, access to savings.
So cash plus support.
Exactly. Giving the fishing rod with the fish, you could say. The report shows that combination really drives long-term change.
That makes sense.
And graduation programs. These are really focused on systematically helping the ultra-poor move from basic aid towards sustainable work, often linking them to microfinance later on.
That sounds incredibly powerful, trying to bring it all together. But
Yeah.
I imagine it's not easy. What are the roadblocks, the challenges the report identified?
Oh, definitely challenges. You hit it right there. A big one is this inherent tension. Microfinance institutions need to be financially sustainable, right? But their biggest social impact might be with the poorest clients who are, by definition, higher risk.
The balancing act. Sustainability versus outreach.
Exactly. How do you serve those most in need while keeping the lights on? It's a fundamental dilemma.
What else?
Well, there's the risk of clients getting into too much debt if they're accessing multiple types of loans or services without good coordination.
Right, over-indebtedness.
Yeah. And just practical stuff. Huge operational hurdles getting these integrated programs running smoothly, especially in remote areas or places hit by crisis. Plus, honestly, we still struggle to accurately measure the real long-term social impact. Lots of gaps there.
So given all the potential, the challenges, what's the path forward? What does the report recommend to actually make this synergy work better for building that resilient path out of poverty?
Good question. The report lays out some key things. First, strengthening the rules, the regulations, but making them tailored to support these integrated models, not hinder them.
Okay, better frameworks.
Yeah. And fostering systems that are genuinely adaptive, shock responsive, systems that can actually pivot quickly when a crisis hits, like we saw with Alpha.
Makes sense.
Promoting digital tools is huge too.
Yeah.
Digital finance, mobile money. But, and this is crucial, doing it alongside financial literacy. People need to understand the tools.
Right, tech plus education.
Yeah, definitely. And finally, really enhancing partnerships. Getting governments, NGOs, microfinance providers, donors, all working together. It needs a whole coordinated ecosystem, shared goals, clear policies. That's essential.
Wow. Okay, quite a journey through this report today. So the core takeaway for you listening seems to be this really powerful interconnected potential. Microfinance and social protection aren't separate silos. It's about how they can and should work together, amplify each other's strengths to boost resilience and fight poverty.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought for you to chew on. How do we make sure these integrated approaches aren't just ideas and reports? How do we ensure they actually get implemented, adapted, fine-tuned for the real, unique needs of every community, particularly the most vulnerable everywhere? What does that actually look like on the ground?
A really important question, something to keep thinking about. Keep exploring this vital subject, and thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.